Alright, so I have another book that really is great. Um, I don't know if much of y'all are readers of like esoteric type of occult knowledge. Occult means hidden, it doesn't mean evil, it just means that which you don't understand yet. Um, so I found this book. It's a rare book. I'll be surprised if anyone's ever read this, but I'm going to put it in the tag so maybe someone has if they're searching for this on YouTube. Uh, um, the author is Valentia Straiton. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the name of the book is The Celestial Ship of the North. And I guess there's different books, but this one um, has the Celestial Ship of the North on the front cover, and it's Egyptian. And um, some of the research of Jordan Maxwell has touched on this subject of the Argha Noah, which became known as the Ark of Noah. And the Argha, how it originally was, it was the crescent moon, the moon up in the sky that is the crescent that is shaped like that, not the full moon but the crescent, and that became known as the Argha in the ancient world, and later got carried down to where we have the writing of the Torah. Torah comes from the word tarot, which means truth, and Torah, first 5 books of the Genesis of the Bible, starting with Genesis, and the story we have about Noah comes from this Argha type of thing, which is the moon, which floats on the waters, which you see have the crescent moon that appears right above the surface of the water of the sea. The moon is up there, and that was the Argha. And I'll show you in the book where they have the illustration coming from Egypt, and you can read that. Celestial Ship of the North, symbolical, naviformed Argha is found in all sacred mysteries as an expressive type of the Holy Spirit, who was the ship of life. The celestial ship of the North and the moon, symbolized by the crescent-shaped boat, became one of her emblems. And it's all about the book. The book goes into things like astrology, and connection with what I've been talking about, astrotheology, which is the origin of most of the religions of the world. Like things like they didn't have the deities to worship like Jesus or Krishna or any of these things to worship. Back in the ancient world, they only had nature and the forces around them and the planets and the stars and the sun and the moon, and they saw how, by observation, which is astrology is about, by observation they started to see the influences or of these planets, or how things on Earth are happening in a certain way which coordinates and aligns with those things up in the sky that are going through the signs of the zodiac. So I highly recommend this book if you're into astrology and theology or astrotheology, or you're into ancient world culture and religion and some of the hidden esoteric type of things in the Bible. Some of the stuff that Jordan Maxwell or Michael Tessarian, people like this talk about. A lot comes from this. A lot of stuff about Saturn and the sun and Egypt and all sorts of stuff. And within each chapter, there's a section that kind of deals with the astrological influences as well. And here's yet another example from the book called the winged disc. And this concept of how the sun, S-U-N, heals and brings life to the earth, and it gives of its energy so that we may survive. This concept of the winged disc, you find this in the ancient world that got carried down to Rome, starting Christianity, and got into the Bible and got attributed to Jesus, which is the personification of the sun. Just like you have different deities which were personifications of other things up in the sky, like El is the personification of Saturn, and Jehovah was a moon god, the lunar force, and Jehovah originally was female and not male. What we think of in Judaism and Christianity today, Jehovah being the male force, it was originally female and was the moon. Now, what I was talking about, the winged disc, an emblem of new birth and resurrection, and explains the verse, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and how the sun gives healing, and it heals the planet and gives its energy. And in Christianity, we're talking about how Jesus, Son of Righteousness, shall arise with healing in his wings. And that's even a famous song that people sing in church. And I highly suggest this book if you're into the Bible or astrology, like I was saying, and some of the mystery type stuff. And I mean, most people just have no idea what they're reading in the Bible, and the songs they sing in church, they think it means one thing. It's so simplified, but there's actually deeper and other levels of understanding to these concepts and these things within the religion, and it's quite fascinating to study it. And while most people are not into studying this type of stuff because it gives another version of how it is, or it gives you the hidden truth to it, people don't really like to talk about these things because it's not in the mainstream. They can't go to a church and talk to everyone about this stuff. People just like their same old thing, and they don't like to change. And humanity has got to wake up pretty fast. I hope it happens. I mean, there is a huge awakening going on with human race all over the world, but I hope that it is in time, that it's not too late. But I'm only optimistic, and I'm remaining hopeful. And I hope you check out this book, and I'm going to have more videos really soon about some other stuff that I read and have been reading. So stay posted.